That one's on.
Yeah, don't be that's right. That's it. Right? Did you?
What's he doing?
What?
Otherwise it's her. That was nice.
Last night was the DLC.
Oh,
I think it's Thursday. We'll chat before that.
I'll be downstairs for that. I'm trying to get on with it. I have a couple things to do on it.
That's your bachelor's.
Actually, no. Well, the law school is very hard.
Oh, yeah?
My daughter was also good. So, that's it. Yep.
So you did it all.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes down to sales,
No, I haven't had to like.
no,
It hasn't been freezing since 2012. So.
Nice shoes.
Okay.
Very nice. Sticker shoes.
So,
What do you want?
just help, just trying to help.
Just something.
Help them, just trying to help.
Yeah.
Trying to help.
Yeah.
Downstairs again.
Be downstairs. Be downstairs if you need me. Look.
This is how it is.
I know, I heard that. I remember I said that.
If you're sitting to that side.
Oh, right.
You're on the agenda. I'm sorry. Yep.
Oh, I know.
Be here.
I think they're different. Oh, yeah. For some reason.
That's hilarious.
And that was me.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's 7 o'clock, and we're about to begin the Morrisville Borough Council meeting of June 18th, 2018. If you'll please rise for a moment of silence and our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and if we could have a roll call, please, Virginia?
Here.
Here. Here. Yeah. Here.
Here.
Councilman Parker?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Here.
Okay. Before we do the special hearing tonight for the liquor license for the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, our mayor would like to swear in our 2 new part-time police officers. So I'll turn the floor over to our honorable mayor, Ravella to swear in Officers David Ramus and Officer Matthew Allen. Please come forward.
Did you bring your, Oh, okay, good.
Gosh.
All right, just so the public knows, this is Officer Dave Ramos, and obviously his family.
There's one right there on the podium.
So we'll take the oath, please, raise your right hand. I, David Ramos, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, defend, the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. I'll hold the Bible. This is Matthew Allen. I, Matthew Allen, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, defend, the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and I will discharge the duties of my office, with fidelity.
Congratulations and welcome to the police force, guys. Good night. Are there people here for the Eagles or no?
Supposed to be.
Do you want to call them? Okay, our next, do you want me to, hold on a second. Do you want me to do the announcements first? I'm going to add to the agenda. You want to do this hearing first? Okay. I just want to let everyone know, two additions that are going to be on the agenda tonight. Under 9 would be action items. It would be 9I is going to be a addition for the Recreation Advisory Board appointment. We still had an opening, so there's one 3-year appointment to expire on 6/18/2021. The other thing is we will have an executive session after the meeting ends tonight. There won't be any voting, so we'll end the meeting first. That will be pertaining to discussions for the police contracts and for ongoing discussions about the possible merger of the Morrisville Rescue Squad. So thank you. Now at this time I will turn the meeting over to our solicitor who will be handling the public hearing for the transfer of the liquor license for the Fraternal Order of Eagles, number 2489. Is there anyone in the room for
Is there
that?
anyone here from the Fraternal Order of Eagles?
Oh, okay.
Hi, do you have counsel?
No,
Did you expect to have counsel? Are you okay?
no, we're okay.
Fine. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I just like to give you.
No, it's perfectly good.
Presentation as to who we are.
Okay. Well, as the hearing officer for this hearing, I want to open this hearing. Everything we say will be transcribed. Please come up, identify yourself, and
Well, good evening,
It's your
council members and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mickey Malone, and I am the secretary for the Fraternal Order of Eagles, area number 2489. And we are here tonight to request a letter of resolution transferring our license from Falls Township to Morrisville Borough. Let me tell you a little bit about our organization. We are a not-for-profit charitable organization with a social club. Now, our social club is members only. We're not open to the general public. So we screen the people that come to our establishment with great scrutiny. As far as a charitable organization, it's inherent in our...
Excuse me one second. You're going to testify?
Pardon me?
You're testifying on behalf of your organization, correct?
Yes.
Okay, can we swear you in first? Would you mind?
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead. Please swear him in. You can either swear or affirm an oath. Yeah, go ahead.
I do. My phone number?
She asked for your full name.
Your full name, please.
That's adorable, though. I like that. That was good. I'll use it sometime.
It's Francis Ignatius Malone III, but I go by Mickey. Yeah, 215-606.
All right. So you already testified or spoke that you were the
I am the secretary. For the Fraternal Order of Eagles, area number 2489.
Okay, go ahead.
And I stated that we are a charitable organization. We are a not-for-profit, and we also have a social club. And our social club is members only. That's not to say that we don't invite the public to come see what we're about. We have membership drives twice a year. We also have a section of the property we want to occupy that we will rent to bridal showers, baby showers, funeral luncheons. If there's a bunch of guys that want to do needlepoint, we will accommodate them too.
There's probably a big demand for that, right?
What's that?
That's probably where you make most of your money, right?
Well, we only sell tea at those. Charitably, it's inherent in our being that passed down from our grand area and our state area that we help support the community. So if we're allowed to become part of this community, once a year we will have a fund drive for the police officers, borough police, once a year for the fire department, and there's stuff in the works where we're thinking about doing something for the kids where we're going to help support Little League and softball, but that's in its formative stages. I guess in closing, I'm at the mercy of the borough and the Liquor Control Board to open up. We've invested a lot of money in on the inside. We've cleaned up the outside. We intend to be a good neighbor, and we want to be part of the community. So,
just for the record, even everybody here is aware of it. Tell us where you are, what your building is, what you've done to it, where you're located, please.
Okay, we have a 2-year lease with a 3rd-year option at 1 East Philadelphia Avenue. Now, that's on the corner of Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, the old city limits Bridge Bar and Grill. What else would you like to know about that?
No, I just wanted, for the sake of people watching, for the hundreds of thousands of people who are watching us on TV tonight, so they know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, that's we put our placard up. It's been up for 90 days or more. It's requested that it's be up for 30 days. We've jumped through all the hurdles except for this resolution. And it's my understanding from the Liquor Control Board that if we get this and we email it to them, that it will be pretty speedily approved by the Liquor Control Board. So,
okay, is there anything else you want to say? Or do you have any other witnesses that you want to have testify this evening on your behalf, with the organization's behalf?
No. I don't.
Who is your president?
Our president is Darryl Babinchek, and he is on vacation right now.
Okay. And with that, you have nothing further. Is that correct?
No, I think that's pretty clear cut.
Is there anyone else here that would like to be heard This is a public hearing. The public has a right to testify, be heard. Okay, there are no hands up. Now there's a hand up.
Okay.
You just couldn't resist, right? You had to, right? Right? You had to say something, right? Because no one else would.
You'd be disappointed if I didn't.
No, not really, but it's either way, I'm happy. So come on up and state your name for, no, you can sit right there. She has a right to testify.
Okay.
Go right
All
ahead.
right, it's not a problem.
State your name for the record, address, the usual.
The usual. Jane Berger, 90 West Maple Avenue. Good evening.
Do you have a question?
Yes, the transfer of the liquor license in, the gentleman mentioned it was 2-year lease with the option for a 3rd year. I'm hoping you're successful and you last longer than that. But the question would be, what would happen to the liquor license if you would decide you and Morrisville are not a good fit or they don't renew your lease?
Would request a transfer again.
You would do that to take it with you, right? Okay.
Yeah, we're hoping that this works. We like the spot. We almost consider it like a new Chambersburg kind of thing, you know, where we're going to.
Old Chambersburg.
Old Chambersburg.
I remember. Thank you very much.
Yes, we all do. With fond memories, yes, we remember well. Okay, thank you so much for that. Does anyone else have any questions or wish to testify on this? Okay, council, does anyone in council have a question?
I would like to make a comment if I can.
Or a comment, that's fine.
And I just want to confirm. So this is a license that you currently have. You're transferring from where you previously were in Falls, right?
Yes.
To where you're going now, correct?
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Does anyone else on council have a
I do.
question or a comment?
What will be your hours of operation?
Technically, it's called a catering license, and legally, we're allowed to be open from 7 in the morning till 3 at night. Our hours before were 10 in the morning till 2 at night, 2 in the morning. But so legally, by our license, we're allowed to be open from 7 in the morning till 3 a.m. However, those hours will change according to the day and according to the patronage. It's a pretty quiet corner. We really only have maybe 2 neighbors, not to mention the apartments upstairs, but we're not out to ruffle any feathers, that's for sure. So.
Could I? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you done, Mr. Bowers?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. When you said it's catering license, will you be doing some type of catering? Is it just a small thing for your own organization you'd be doing it for? Do you do any catering type of thing?
As I mentioned, we're available to cater to the public. We have a small section that seats 45 to 50 people. Mm-hmm. For the bridal showers, baby showers, funeral things.
Some on the small side.
On the smaller side, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. How long were you over in Falls? I've seen your place before. A long time, right?
1995.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
It was a shame to lose. It was 7 acres, but the overhead was going up and the membership was going down, and we're trying to regroup.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Are you going to be doing? Hello. Hi. Are you going to be doing like an opening ceremony and?
We're going to have a grand opening, yeah.
A grand opening?
Yeah, and the public will be invited.
Okay. Will you let Mr. Mitchell know when that is so he can let all of council know?
I will, certainly. And it all hinges on the Liquor Control Board granting the transfer. You're the last step in that process.
Okay.
Or the next to last step.
Are there any other questions, comments by council? If not, I'll close this hearing. And it's now, council can now make a decision if they choose to do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We move that motion off for that?
Yeah, do you want to skip down to 9C? Or do you want to
Yes.
do it later?
We can do it now if you'd like to.
Just because we have the court reporter here, why don't we, would ask council to move it up, make a motion to move this up to 9C up to now.
Okay, could I have a motion for that?
So moved.
And a second? Okay.
Second.
It was moved in second to move 9C. I'll read that motion. Motion to adopt a resolution for the Fraternal Order of Eagles number 2489 intermunicipal liquor license transfer, license number CC 5535.
That is correct. So a motion is in order if council so wishes.
Okay.
So I hear a motion.
We already,
We already
motion second.
edited it? Yep.
Pass- Oh, did
Yep.
you vote on that one already?
No, we're going to vote.
Vote on that one. Okay, all in favor, I guess.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes.
Welcome to Morrisville.
Welcome and good luck.
No, that's,
No.
that's,
Now we have to vote. Wait, just a second.
now we have to
Sit one
vote, that's to
second.
bring it up and move it.
Now, a motion is in order to adopt
To adopt that motion.
resolution
That was
for the
just to move
Fraternal
it up.
Order of Eagles, number 2489, intermunicipal liquor license transfer, license number CC 5535, coming from Falls Township into Morrisville Borough. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Now the vote is for the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes 7-0.
Again, welcome to Morrisville.
Any abstentions? Unanimous. Thank you.
If you, congratulations, thank you. We need to take a 2-minute break, if that's okay with everyone, just 2-minute break.
Video system's not working.
Oh, thanks. How did you do that? Did you do that? Oh. It doesn't take. No, he doesn't. Just with
How about that? You got yourself a date and everything. Done with council meeting? Getting hit on at a council meeting. What's wrong with this? You know?
And if you miss his number, I have to.
It's part of the official Tomorrow night, we'll make the zoning board. Zoning board. My son did it tomorrow night. True.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Night.
Jane Burke. Thank you. Never.
Yeah, it says,
Okay, you ready to vote?
May as well.
Okay, is everything cool?
No,
No.
a little.
Okay, we're going to resume our meeting now. Thank you for your patience. We're at the public comment portion of the meeting, so if anyone has signed up to speak, this would be your time to come to the podium and speak. Remind everyone there's a 3-minute comment time per speaker, and our assistant secretary will let you know when you're at that 1-minute time frame. Thank you.
Oh, good evening. Good evening, Karen Kane, 42 Union Street. I'm speaking on behalf of the MEAC tonight. I will do the first part, and Debbie Colgan will do the second. Over the years, the MEAC EAC has urged the borough to capitalize on Morrisville's desirable and varied environmental resources and recognize the value that they bring to our town. The EAC would like to again encourage council to address these issues. Trees. Simply put, we need to plant new trees in public places on a regular and ongoing basis. Trees provide many environmental, financial, aesthetic, and social benefits to a community. This is a directive promoted by the BCPC in all of their town planning presentations. The EAC is requesting council declare trees as a necessity and commit the borough to the planting and care of new public trees throughout the borough. Grants can be found to cover the cost of trees, and many tree planting projects can be undertaken by volunteers. But the continued watering and maintenance of new trees is a job the borough must take on. All trees planted must have a scheduled watering plan, which cannot be considered optional. Other tasks include light mulching and never weed whacking around the trunks of the trees. Borough Council, Borough Management, and citizens alike are always concerned with the expense of important initiatives such as this. The MEAC recommends a simple and highly effective solution to affording the trees' maintenance costs, like mowing public properties less often will lower mowing expenses by 50% and will also provide healthier, more drought-resistant lawns in the public spaces. Mowing less often is a win-win situation for funding an essential tree maintenance program. Maintenance and protection of parks and open space. The borough should review its ordinances and strengthen language that protects our environmental resources. Increased enforcement of borough ordinances that are meant to prevent environmental damage is essential. Unauthorized dumping, digging, leaf blowing, and similar destructions of public property should be interrupted by code enforcement and police. Citations and fines should be routinely issued as a consequence to violators. Consistent maintenance of our public spaces needs to be a priority. Public Works should collaborate with volunteer groups to ensure understanding and long-term success of beautification projects. Okay, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie Colgan, 120 West Hendrickson Avenue. I'm also on the EAC and am completing the rest of our comment to you. This has to do with planning. The Morrisville's open space plan needs to be updated and should be undertaken along with an updated comprehensive plan. The EAC agrees that attracting new businesses contributes to the economic development of a community, and we support such efforts. However, we encourage the more comprehensive approach to revitalization and economic development that recognizes that environmental factors contribute significantly to a town's success. Parks, open space, trails, bicycle routes, mature trees, landmarks, natural wonders, and playgrounds all weigh in on the perception of a town's desirability as a place to buy a home, to raise a family, spend one's income, and pay taxes. A town's environment is every bit important to most residents as the quality of the schools, the nature of the housing, the level of the taxes, and the success of the business district. There are volumes of case studies and planning research showing that investment in a quality park system and preservation of open space brings a large number of benefits to a community, especially economic ones. There are numerous examples of how park systems have fueled revitalization. Morrisville has the opportunity to do the same. The AAC wants our public land to engage and serve the public. Linking our recreational parks, our historic sites, and our undeveloped open spaces with our businesses and residential districts creates an energetic and prosperous community. It's a challenge we should all energetically continue to work on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, can I just make a comment real quick?
Sure.
Would you mind sending in that statement via email? Seems like it was pretty well prepared.
Sure, I'll take that up here. Thank you. We'll put it in the packet for everyone. Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Debbie, very much. Okay, next would be Jane Berger.
Good evening again. Jane Berger, 90 West Maple Avenue. I noticed on the bill list we have an additional bill of $800 for the solicitor for the Civil Service Commission. I looked to Councilwoman Chronicle as the chair of the Civil Service Commission. Perhaps we can get an update of when we will finally be able to hire this part-time officer. I know you did a motion a few months ago pending certain testing of something that had to be done. I don't know what the delay is, but I'm hoping I get an answer for that this evening because I'm sure the residents look forward to having that full-time police officer position filled.
Would you like to speak?
Actually, the Civil Service Commission doesn't get involved in part-time police officers.
No, I said the full-time officer,
police
right.
officer, right. And that person has begun their duties.
Thank you. That is exciting to hear. It kind of, I guess he was sworn in between the last month's meeting when the mayor couldn't attend and now.
Well, he was a part-time police officer and he's now full-time. So technically he was already sworn. Whether or not the mayor did any other
that wouldn't be needed.
action with him, I wouldn't know.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. I think the residents appreciate that update to know that we had that full-time officer on the force. Since we have a viable website now, perhaps you might consider putting a congratulations up there, the names of our full-time officer and the 2 part-time officers that were hired this evening. I'm sure the residents would also be interested in that information. And just quickly to piggyback on the comments from our MEAC regarding trees and they form a wonderful canopy on our streets. Looking forward to the future, maybe that's a time for a public-private partnership with our residents. So trees, and there are trees that are suggested for plantings in those areas and some that are really not suggested, be planted on the property owner's property rather than the green belt, the no man's land, that strip between curbs and sidewalks, because then we may have a fighting chance of less damage to sidewalks and curbs by tree roots. I mean, the linden or the buttonwoods that up North Pennsylvania Avenue were drought resistant and wonderful. But if you look at Pennsylvania Avenue and you see how those roots have gone out over the street, they really can be a maintenance nightmare. So I'm all for trees, but in the right place.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Since there's no one else, we will end the public comment at this time. We're going to move on to the approval of the minutes. We have minutes 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D. Council has gotten all these to review. Is council okay with voting this as a block? Would you like me to do them individually? Is there anyone in question of those minutes that? Okay, we can do it as a block? Okay. Then I'll read them and the dates. These would be the council meetings for March 19th, 2018, April 10th, 2018, April 16th, 2018, May 8th, 2018. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on any of these minutes? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next, we'll go on to the finance. We don't have a separate treasurer's report, so we will go to the 7B, which is a motion to approve the bill list and pay the bills. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second, anyone? Second. We have a motion moved and a second. Any questions or comments on this motion?
I have a couple.
Okay, Ms. Larson.
Page GL 1805, page 3. Here's an invoice for Rudolph Clark for $100. And then GL 1806, page 2, another invoice for Rudolph Clark for $800.
The $800 is a civil service bill. I don't know what the $100 bill, I don't know what the $100 invoice is for.
That was maybe for the testing and stuff?
I did not see a $100 invoice, so I'm not sure when that's, it says police matters. It doesn't say civil service, so I'm not sure if that's something separate, but I did not see that.
Okay. Do we know what the $800 was for?
No, I said the 800 was for civil service. I don't know what the $100 one is for.
I'll come down and invoice for that.
And that brown folder right there.
Okay. All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. I guess we'll call the vote. We don't have a secretary. Are we going to call the vote? Go ahead. Yeah.
Keeping track.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Eileen Dreisbach?
Yes.
Okay. Mike Yeager?
Yes.
Myself, Debbie Smith, yes. Danielle Larson,
Yes.
Justin Bowers,
Yes.
Dave Nay,
Yes.
Corinne Chronicle.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, next we're going to go on to reports. 7A is the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just would like to welcome once again Dave Romos and Matthew Allen to Morrisville as our latest part-time officers. Recently, I had Morrisville's 4th grade class come to Borough Hall. That's when they were learning about government, so they came down here and met with me, and of course, they had a nice tour and spent some time in the police department. And they were impressed to see that their school was under surveillance. Apparently, that was a rumor. The teachers told them to behave, and then they found out it's true. The police department can see the hallways. The children had a good time. Pretty much all of them enjoyed the jail cells. That's always different every year. Some like it, some don't. These kids are actually anxious to go inside. So that was a good day. And just to add to something Ms. Berger had mentioned, the latest police officers, they're actually on the police department's website already, if you go into staff. So anyone wants to see that, the officers are always listed. So that's the extent of my report this evening.
Okay. We don't have a junior council report, so we'll go next to 9, which is the action items. 9A is a motion to identify the location at Williamson Park for the new playground installation. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
A second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have discussion from anyone or comments from anyone on this?
I have a question.
Sure.
So is this, the way the motion is worded, we're just identifying it. Who's identifying it? Are we leaving that to the engineer?
I believe we have to pick where, because of the grants, you have to pick where you're going to put that. So it would either, from what I'm understanding from Gilmore, is it would stay where it was in the original spot,
Okay.
or another location. And it's kind of tough. We've gone back and forth about this because without a master plan, you don't want to move it. But this is the smaller tot lot, I believe, is the first one that we got. So that's what he's looking for. He needs to have a direction as to where we want it. He can't just put it wherever he feels. It has to be where council thinks that they want to put that small lot. So that's what he's asking for.
So-
And hopefully we don't have to move it down the road.
Which makes perfect sense. But based on this motion, what are we deciding?
A location.
Which one?
Okay, how about if are we just picking those 2 sites? Would it be over by where the concession stand is, or leave it where it was originally?
Madam President, if I could shed a little light on this. The borough engineer's recommendation was and remains to keep it where it has always been.
Right.
Previously, in discussions with council, the option had come up as to possibly relocating it to where the pool used to be, because there is a natural gas transmission line easement
Along Delmore.
along Delmore where
it was
the current playground was located, which is not an issue. I mean, if they had to do maintenance to that transmission line, we would have to move portions of the playground so it doesn't obstruct their right-of-way access and then put it back. Or if you wanted to, we could relocate it to where the swimming pool was, but it's at the point now where the borough engineer needs a final decision. Where do you want it?
Will there be the rubber flooring? So in other words, if with the easement, would they need to rip up the flooring, or is this?
I think they were still working on what material would be used on the ground because of the floodplain issue. They didn't come back with us exactly what it was they would have to use on the ground. There's any number of things that would be. But I think what the engineer, from what I remember as the manager was stating, his reasoning for keeping it where it was that it would be the least amount of moving it if something came down the road, and they could actually stay away in more from where that gas line would actually be. Because this, of course, is a smaller amount of equipment than it was before. So he would rather keep it right in that area where it originally was. So that's I think what he's looking for.
Okay.
But
Plus, I think they're looking to avoid the situation where they locate the tot lot and then we get the grant for the second phase of the playground, and then there's an interest in changing the location because it will have already been installed.
Right.
So wherever we're going to put it now with the phase one of the playground funding for the tot lot is where it's going to stay, is what we're suggesting.
The other thing that the engineer had mentioned in passing, talking with him about this back and forth where it was going to go, was that he thought that the council really wanted to keep as much open area by where that concession stand was to begin with, because without having a formal design on it, he thought that was where if you're going to do your amphitheater, you were going to put anything else in, you wanted to make sure that that was done at the time that you were going to do that, where everyone was used to that playground equipment being exactly where it was across from the ball fields and still access to everybody from that parking lot. Because no matter where you put that playground, I do remember the engineer saying it has to be a certain amount of footage from the parking lot. You just can't stick it on another end. It has to be near the parking lot. It's just part of it. So that's what he wanted to basically say, you know, his recommendation was keep it where it is, but he would like to ask the council just to make sure, is it there or are you moving it? Because he has to know to send that paperwork in for the grant.
Is there a plan to put a fence around it? Being it's a tot lot, I would be afraid that the kids would run out into the parking lot.
I would imagine we could do that like it was originally. I don't know if
It's
the same
on the
kind of
one or
fencing.
two sides. It doesn't have to be the whole, you know, the whole playground
And it could be
area.
part of that second phase, because right now this was just the money to purchase it. We didn't get the full grant we needed. That's why he was going for the second part. So I would imagine if that's something that the council wanted was to have that fenced in, because the little ones, I can't see why that couldn't be done, to tell you the truth. We could definitely push to have that done.
Has, Madam President, has this grant already been approved for this?
This is, the first part was, and the second part is the one we just did a resolution to send in to get the next part of the grant for more money to complete and do a bigger area.
Because I remember one of the grants said specifically that the playground was supposed to go where the old one was.
Right.
So I guess what I'm questioning is we won't be in any kind of jeopardy if we move it after the fact. Once the grant's approved, is there any technical?
Right, that's why originally when that grant was put in, you're correct, it was stated that's where it was going to be in the original spot. That's how the grant was drawn up. That's why when it's going back and forth about, oh, well, maybe we'll put the lot over here, he kind of went, we could see if we could get that moved, but it was originally, you're right, in that spot is how that original grant was drawn up. So I think that's why he's wants to kind of stay where it originally was.
Okay.
Yes, you're right about that.
Okay.
So I guess he basically, at this point, he has to put that paperwork in. He wants to know from council, can we put it in that original spot, or is it something you have to move and he's going to have to know it?
With the original spot, putting in the tot lot and then going for the second grant for the older kids' equipment, is there going to be enough room in the original area to have both?
Well, that tot lot, if you looked at the amount of equipment you were getting, because you don't get as much as bang for your buck, it's a lot smaller. And I would imagine when it comes to the other part of it, you might be able to have it like, if you're going to fence and divide it, keep it separate for the little ones over here, but have it next to it with the next phase. I've seen the parks done like that, but I believe it's all going to fit in that same. That's a pretty big area where Imagination Island was, so I think it could be configured in that same spot. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I want to put out there then, is everyone okay with giving the engineer the okay to keep that in the original spot?
Yes.
Where he originally did the grant. Is that okay?
Do we need a motion to approve that original spot as the tot lot location?
Okay, so how about if we amend this motion then? Can we amend the motion to read that we're identifying the original place where Imagination Island was for the new playground installation?
So you need a motion to amend the motion, correct?
Yes, can I have a motion?
We agree, yeah.
Second.
Okay, and now can we vote on the motion? Okay,
Oh, you need to vote on the
actual motion I just read off, yeah.
the amendment of the motion, right?
Yeah.
The new.
All in favor of amending that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, so we amended the motion. Now we want to vote on the motion to place that equipment in there. Okay?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. The playground equipment will be placed in the original spot. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then it passes 7-0. All right, now we're going to move on. 9B is a motion to finalize the signed copy and placement location at Patriots Park. This is another one. Before I even start, can I have a motion for this?
Well, you might want to discuss.
I was going to discuss it after they move it.
Okay.
Motion and a second. Can I have?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now we can discuss it. I guess explain. You want to explain, Scott? You want me to explain it? What it is?
We need to decide on the final copy for the sign and where the sign is going to be placed. Two things.
Okay.
We included in your packets the original mock-up for a sign, which was part of the original grant application. And then we included a revised version of that surfaced later. I have to confess to you, I don't know the history behind either one of these.
Could I?
So I'll yield to anyone else who does.
Okay. Since I was part of this whole grant process when this was going on and was contacted about this, at the time, we didn't get the full grant for the demo and had to go for another grant. That was through HUD. We had then to create a story plaque as to where the original school was, what the history of, a story of that actual land. We had limited time to do it, so there were two versions that got thrown together. The one was done with the Emma Ryder property in the foreground, and off to the right, it had two different fonts on it, a picture of Manoa Ryder on it. And then the second one was done with the summer seat. It was a black and white, you'll see in your packet, summer seat in the background and the original Robert Morris High School. Then the same exact shot is done years later with same thing, summer seat in the background and the Emma Ryder School. All of the language that is on both of these was given to the borough by the MEAC. Bill Setzer worked tirelessly to gather all this information along with the Historic Society, which was Sharon Hughes. This is where, and the information that came from this basically came from what Bill Setzer had put together with Sharon Hughes for our original open space grant. So that's where most of this language has all come from in the history on this. It's just a matter of what the sign was actually going to look like. So what it comes down to is the park has been named. It's Patriots Park at Historic Summer Seat. And the two different versions, so we have to say which one we're going to be using for that plaque, and that's the one that's going to go, and then a location as to where. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor at this point. We can also, and if you want, let's call the one with the two pictures of the two schools in Summer Seat in the background will be Design A. The other one will be Design B. How's that? Does that, everybody see them? Okay.
So question, and Scott, you may be able to answer this. I know you've been working with the engineer on everything. So we're keeping the parking lot, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming there will be an entranceway from the parking lot into the park itself, right? That just makes sense. There will be some kind of path,
I think there is now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, jeez.
To amend the current motion to read, to place sign A near the walkway entrance to the park nearest to the parking lot. So people can see it as they come in. Discussion.
I know.
Okay. And I don't get a second. Go ahead, guys.
So we're going to do this motion all together. We're not going to pick the thing and then pick where it's going to be? Is that what we're saying?
I'd like to.
I tried to do it all at once.
I like Plan A, the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about if we just
do that first?
Can we? Yeah. Since we already have a motion up here for this, can we do that? All right. This motion will be which one? Okay.
And sign A is with the old high school Emma Ryder, and sign B is the one with Manoa.
Right. Correct. Yes. Let me see. Yes, A, and the other one, Manoa Ryder, is B, correct? Just for keeping it straight sake.
Are you doing a roll call for which
yes,
sign
so
everyone?
Are we still discussing now? Can we still have comments?
Yes.
I'd just like to comment. I'm fine with the verbiage on both of them, but I think we should consider that this sign is going to be there for many, many years, and it's going to cost a pretty penny. I think maybe we should consider having somebody professionally graphically design it so it looks nice, because the way I look at the layouts, it looks like somebody in both of them laid it out in Microsoft Word.
Mm-hmm. They did. Because we had to put something together for the grant. Nobody said it was professionally done.
But I think if we're going to have a sign there that's going to be there for 20 or 30 or 70 years, it should be professionally done.
Do we have time for that? Mr. Mitchell?
We can make time.
Okay.
If council wishes for it to be done that way.
So if we pick one of these and say, this is basically what we want, and for them to do the graphics on it, is that what you're talking about, Mr. Bowers?
Yes, because especially looking at the photos, just because they look nice on a piece of paper doesn't mean when you print them out on something that's got to resist the sun for 20 years that they're going to still come out the same.
Okay. I guess we could do, our main thing right now is the grant paperwork by the engineer has to go. That's what this is for, I believe, correct? He needs this stuff?
No,
As part of it?
the grant application was submitted using that one, B, like a year or so ago. I don't.
Well, at the time, though, we were told that that was just, because we had to throw something in and we would be able to design that later. The council could pick what it was,
Correct.
that it was a temporary, just something to get the grant moving.
Yes.
And that we were allowed to finalize what we wanted at the end.
That's what we're doing tonight.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess my question would be, how much would we want to spend to get it professionally done?
Can we vote on which one we're going to pick first?
Yeah, we do that first, and then can we have whoever's going to be doing it, look over what we have and then can tweak. Is that okay with everyone? Everyone's okay with what's written on them? They're almost identical, to tell you the truth. The
If I could just make a quick comment, the dates on this are not 100% accurate. I don't know if we're able to make the changes to that now, but I can tell you right now, these dates are not accurate.
Which dates?
On either of them. First of all, sometimes it says Robert Morris High School, which is what the high school was originally called, and sometimes it says Morrisville High School.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that needs to be changed. It says that the boiler explosion happened in 2010. I believe it happened in 2009.
Yeah.
And also
2008.
and also it says from 1930. I think the Robert Morris High School opened in 22. So just some of these dates are.
I do know when I spoke with Bill Setzer, he did this very quickly. Sure. Threw it together. And I did point out the fact that you just said he did have on there Morrisville High School, and it was supposed to be Robert Morris High School. So he did know that stuff does have to be correct.
Okay.
So this language does have to be fixed for what's missing on there.
Well, we're also not pressuring you for a decision tonight. If you want to table this until your next meeting and finalize this, we can recirculate it.
Can I also ask a really stupid question while we're here?
Sure.
Patriots Park, is it Patriots as in a lot of Patriots? So Patriots is plural, it's not.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, we knew that it was like a midnight ride. Poor Mr. Setzer for throwing this information for us, and I thank him for doing that. But yeah, we knew it had to be tweaked, but at this point we have to pick which one of the designs was the best, and then all that language can be fixed and the dates corrected before it goes to print. So yes, thank you. You're correct. Those things have to be corrected. So I can remove this and you guys can take longer to think about it or to look at these designs, or if you know which one you would like to go with, and then we can correct the
It's already
language on
been
it.
seconded. I think we'd have to table it, right?
Well, we got the motion up, so we're going to move on that motion we put up, which is the original one here. To finalize the sign copy and placement. So does everyone want to pick one of these tonight, or would you like me to make a motion to remove this off the table?
I pick A.
Can I have consensus? We're going to take a vote on which one. Okay. All right.
So we're not going to have this professionally done?
Yes.
Okay, well, what are we voting on then? Because I just want to
Which one you
clarify.
want?
A or B?
The one with
A or B.
Preferred format, A or B?
Okay, how about if we put motion to finalize the preferred copy? Is that what you want, something like that?
So are we using this layout? That's my question, though. Or are we having this professionally, like a designer do that? Or is this the layout that we're going with?
No, if a company wants to do the layout a little bit different, but the information,
So what are we voting on? I just want to...
the design, which one, and then go to a professional to put it on the plaque, on how you want it. Maybe they can't put it in this way, maybe he's got to move stuff around.
So what are we voting on?
Basically, it seems
On
like
which
the
one of
pictures.
these designs
Which
do you want to go with? You want to go with A or B?
You're saying that they might change it.
Right, but we don't want to give two to a sign company.
Right, you can
Let's-
just say, this one here is what we want, and
The one that we think is the
Okay.
closest to what we want
Right.
at this time, and
Okay.
we'll take the next.
Subject to change.
right, so, yeah.
Okay.
We'll take some time to clean up the
one A?
content.
The one that you just have in your
and-
hand, is that
Yes,
A?
this is A.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I forgot where we're at. We got a motion a second, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. I thought this was going to be easy tonight. All right. As we take the roll call, say if you want A or B.
It's a terrible picture of him, right?
Okay.
Okay? All right. Can we have the roll call, please?
A.
Councilman Dreyfus,
A.
Councilwoman Chronicle,
B.
Councilman
Manoa.
A.
Councilman Nay,
A?
Council- Councilwoman Smith,
I was going to say C for the hell of it, but A.
Councilman Yates.
A.
Motion passes 6-1.
And now where are we
Okay.
placing it?
Okay, that's the second part now.
That's not there anymore. It's going down like 62.
Do we have to put the placement at this time? Or-
No, you
Okay.
don't.
Can we come back to that?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, can we?
I like that idea.
We could have a bus pick us up. and
Okay.
Take
We
us
can all go
over.
there and have a sign party where it's going to be. Okay.
All right.
All right, so if we do that, we can
Sign
decide where, and everybody, if you get a chance to go up there, walk around and look
We
at
can
it.
all do it
And
together.
at the agenda meeting, let's talk about it. Is that good? For the placement of it?
That's
Okay.
In the meantime, though, could we finalize the content
Yeah, yes.
and get it?
Could they have Manoa's floating head on A? Can you stick that on A? That's the only reason I like that one. I like
Okay,
having
so,
that.
so now we can get this
The
design,
floating
have
head.
the
She
stuff
likes the floating
corrected,
head.
needs corrected dates and what you're saying and all that, and then officially, okay.
That's going to be my.
That'll be the one.
Because we don't want to submit it for professional design if the copy's not correct.
Okay, so we need to correct all those things about that.
Yeah, whatever copy we don't like, we need to fix.
Okay,
So
all right.
So we're choosing A. Are you handing A to Virginia so she could?
Okay, this is A. That's the one, A, okay. And then we'll look it over and see what needs to be fixed on that. And Corinne, if you could, any of the things you notice about that need to be changed on dates, please submit that in. Anyone else that realizes something needs to be changed, please let us know. We'll make those changes on that so it's corrected.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving on. 9C we did. We're going to move on to 9D. Motion to approve the municipal resolution for ratification of the final 2018 Municipal Waste Management Plan. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Management plan.
There's got to be discussion on this, though.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this motion?
Go ahead.
Can we
Justin.
have Scott explain what it is?
Please.
Sure.
this is a resolution the county sends around to the municipalities annually in accordance with state law because the county has to adopt a solid waste, municipal solid waste management plan. And they only need a certain number, I think it says in the resolution, of municipalities to ratify it. And then the county adopts it and sends it to the state.
So I read through the very long one on the internet for the county. So all we're saying is what they devised in 1988 and still have in place today, that they want ratified every 2 years, is we're just okay with it. That's what they're asking?
Correct.
Okay, now I get it.
It's pretty dull and boring.
Scott, do we have a compost facility? Because I did notice it mentions that in there.
We do.
Do we utilize it?
We do.
We're Avenue.
It's got hours of operation
Yes.
Not always open when they say.
on the website. It must be true.
It's on the internet. It must be true.
Must be true.
Come on now.
Okay. Is there any other questions or comments on this motion? Okay.
So moved.
Okay. Can I have a roll call on this, please? Please.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
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 The motion passes 7-0. Okay. Hold on. Is that it?
I believe so. It's actually in the...
You swing it
Yes.
across.
All right, just make sure I got the right amount. Okay, 9E, adoption of a resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application for safety improvements, signal systems for all the traffic signalized intersections within Morrisville Borough in the amount of $149,350. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this motion?
Mr. Mitchell, can you elaborate on what the grant is?
Sure. Did you read the resolution? It outlines that the grant would be utilized to upgrade existing traffic signals with battery backups, generator plugs, and emergency preemption.
So this goes back to the blackout when we didn't have any ability to
Correct.
have traffic control.
Yes.
Yes, but not entirely. Emergency preemption is actually to allow emergency vehicles with proper
Gotcha.
equipment to change the signaling of the
Excellent.
traffic lights.
Good to know. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you. Somehow I missed that in the packet.
Well, it was about 100 and some pages, so I'm not surprised.
Oh, that was the one that was 117 pages long.
Okay. All right. If there's no other questions, can I have a roll call on this, please?
Yes.
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 Motion passes 7-0. Next, 9F, adoption of a resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application for sign replacement for replacing existing signs within Morrisville Borough. The cost of this work to be covered under the ARLE grant funding is $20,000. The amount covered by the borough is $23,460. These numbers were from the ARLE grant application in 2016 and will be confirmed by the engineer.
So
Something
moved.
we're resubmitting.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question? Who actually moved it? Eileen? Okay.
Madam President, I think I might have overheard this. Did we confirm that those were the amounts?
They are.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's what I heard.
Okay. And this is there any other questions on this? No? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Motion passes 7-0. Next is 9H, Library Board appointments. There's two.
G.
Skip G.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Geez, I'm off on one. 9G, adoption of a resolution authorizing the borough engineer to submit a grant application to the Watershed Restoration and Protection Program for improvements in an existing basin. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so moved by Larson, second by Mr. Yeager. I believe this is for the Fourth Ward, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
This is for the only identified basin we have, which is the Melvin Avenue Basin. And at the request of, I forget which council member asked for some clarification on the work that would be done. We did include that in your last packet.
That was me, Scott. Also, do you have the amount of the grant application?
It's another resolution I missed.
Yes, it is.
187.
$187,992.05.
It's also on their report.
Is that a matching grant?
40,000.
40,000?
Yes.
Okay. And was this, since I wasn't part of this budget, is this a budgeted item for this year?
It is not.
It is not.
But it's not going to hit this year.
No.
Okay.
Even if we were to get awarded it by end of calendar year,
Not gonna be done.
we would factor it into our matching requirements for next year's budget.
Okay, very well.
And
Also, the description of the projects itself, will this leave any standing water in that basin? I know some residents were concerned about mosquitoes.
Leave, no, but I mean, immediately after a storm, it could hold water in it for a couple of days, sure.
Okay. Mike?
It's supposed to do.
So right now, unless we have a drought, there's always standing water in it. From what I looked at from the description, that water is going to be under rocks very quickly. When it rains in that area, when it rains hard, we'll get it filling up. But even now, it drains very quickly.
So it's not going to be ponding?
I think it will for maybe a day if it's that bad. But I can't. The way it works now, even within a day or so, it's not a pond anymore. It's just a creek.
Okay.
So that'll all be underground based on the description of the project, which would be great.
Okay, great.
And the other thing I'll also say about that, this is also part of the MS4 plan that we have. So they have to do a certain percentage of stormwater management in that plan. And so this falls right within that category that we have. So it was a good project to actually do with that.
Yes, it does qualify as an MS4
Correct.
project.
Correct.
I think
so. It's going to help it as well as be part of the project.
Danielle, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say that we're the first borough to be looking to get this?
We would be, yes, the
Daniel?
first borough that would have, if everything goes correctly, that would have a rain garden
That's awesome.
in the detention basin.
Very nice.
Cool.
Definitely alleviate some of the problems it's having. So, okay, so we have the motion, we have the second. Anything else? Anyone? Okay, how about if we have a roll call on this, please?
Yes.
Councilwoman Drysdale?
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Nay?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
And Councilman Yu?
Absolutely.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, now I'll go on to the one I should have done. 9H is the library board appointments. There's 2 3-year appointments to expire on 3/1/2021. Before I call for the motion on this, Scott, is there 2 appointments or is there now 3 openings on that? Because we had a third person send in and I thought she was on the board already.
She is. Her term expired in March. So she continues to serve until reappointed or replaced. But I was going to bring to your attention tonight that you not only have the 2 standing appointments, but you have a reappoint if you wish to consider that applicant.
But there's 2 positions, right?
You have 2 positions and someone serving an expired term.
So there's 3.
Yes, 3 vacancies.
3 altogether.
Yes.
Okay, that's
2 are open and 1 is currently has someone serving in it.
Do you want me to amend this motion to read the three-year appointments, or do her separately as a reappointment, or?
That's up to council. I would probably do the 2 vacancies and then
First?
do the reappoint.
Do the reappoint?
If you're interested in reappointing the applicant.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's do this one then, just as it is. The 2 3-year appointments expire on 3/1/2021. Can I have a motion, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I?
Nominations.
Name?
I'd like to nominate Audrey Meyer.
Nomination.
Audrey.
Audrey Meyer?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll do a round on each name first instead of putting them all out. We'll do one position at a time. So you're going to say yes or no for Audrey Meyer on that position. Yes.
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dreisbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
And Councilman Lee?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Audrey Meyer. Okay. All right, you have another 3-year appointment. Could I have a nomination?
I nominate Holly Harmon.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Nominations closed, and we'll take a call. It'll be yes or no for Holly Harmon for that position.
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dreisbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
No.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
And Councilman Yeager?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1. Congratulations, Holly. Welcome to the board. Okay. I'll ask the council, since this other position has been, I guess, open that we didn't realize from March, for someone wants reappointed, do you want to do that reappointment tonight? Do you want to wait? I can put it up for a motion to do it tonight. Want to do it tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. You all got the memo, I believe, today. It would be, let me see if I pronounce her name right, Nancy Vogt, V-O-G-T. As if you all got that?
Yes.
Vogt? Okay. Okay, so there is a 3-year, right, correct? They're all 3-year? 3-year appointment, a reappointment to expire on, it would be 3/1/2021 also, correct? Can I have a nomination, please?
I nominate Nancy Vogt. Vogt.
Okay, just say Nancy Voigt.
Sorry.
Okay, and if we could take a roll call. Oh, first, is there any other nominations? The nominations? Okay. We'll close that nominations, and we'll take a vote on it, yes or no, for Nancy Vogt.
Councilman Bowers?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dreisbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
And Councilman Yeager?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. So congratulations to Nancy Voigt, reappointment to the library board.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Next is 9I. A motion was added for the one position that's left on the Recreation Advisory Board appointment. It's for a 3-year appointment to expire on 6/18/2021. Can I have a nomination, please?
Christine Shannon?
Christine Shannon. Is there any other nominations? Any nominations? Okay, we'll close the nominations, and you will vote yes or no for Christina Shannon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dreisbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Chronicle?
Yes.
Councilwoman Larison?
Yes.
Councilman Day?
Yes.
Councilwoman Smith?
Yes.
And Councilman Yeager?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations to Christina Shannon to our Recreation Advisory Board. Okay. At this point, we don't have any unfinished business unless the borough manager has anything at this point. There's no new business.
Only if you wish to return to 2 meetings a month in July or continue as we have this month?
I'll open that for discussion with
The
everyone.
council.
We want to have a quick discussion.
I'm here anyway, so I don't care.
So I think some of the things that we were ferreting out here and feeling like we were learning about it last second, I think we would have typically the prior week and had time to bounce it around a little bit more. So I'm personally not ready yet, but I don't know how everybody else feels.
I'd like to stay with the 2 meetings for right now.
We'll take a consensus on that. Yes, 2 meetings?
2.
Everyone's 2? Okay, at this point, we're going to remain with the 2 meetings, the agenda meeting and the regular council meeting. Okay, borough officials, anyone at this time? What, no?
I just wanted to point out for the public's knowledge, if they were unaware, our library has a lot of programs over the summer for kids. They have like magicians and reptiles. They have Halloween in July. Libraries rock, and so do dinosaurs. It looks like it's usually on a Thursday morning. So if you have any questions, you can contact them directly. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
The library also has the tickets, correct? To different.
They have passes. I don't.
Passes, thank
it's
you.
tough to get those.
Yeah.
So if you had any questions about that, you could certainly. They're for various museums in the area, but I think they're for kind of first come first serve, so they're tough to get a hold of. But the programs are open for all the kids, so some of them do require registration. So like I said, if you could check out their Facebook page, Morrisville Free Library, or just give them a call.
Okay, I'll just mention a couple things. We were at the PSAB conference, always very informative there. While I was there, there was someone from the agricultural department that was there. Very interesting because there was changes in the fireworks provision law on what they can and can't do in municipalities, and nobody in the municipalities was real crazy about it when it came to light. I certainly didn't know when it was being changed. I'll give the information to our solicitor as well as the manager tonight. But what it says is, as you see these tents pop up in your town for selling memorabilia, they can now do it with fireworks. And since they have changed the law where they can now sell in Pennsylvania different fireworks that are more explosive, shall I say, than you could normally get, they're going to be able to pop up those tents in your town. So in conversation with some of the municipalities at that meeting, we all said, who's going to handle regulating that? Who's going to handle what goes on with them as far as inspections? And a lot of that's going to fall, of course, on the municipality. The state's going to get a nice 12% tax, so they're going to make the money on what they're doing with that. So that's always nice. But that doesn't help us when we're going to have to regulate who's got those tents and what they're using in there. It's going to put added stress on our police as well as our code enforcing, because that's basically who that comes down to. There's a process for that, for them to apply to that, and they have to come to the municipality first. So I would like to ask the council that I'm going to give this information to our solicitor as well as the manager, and maybe they could look into, is there something, our code officer too, something that we need to tweak in our ordinances or our zoning somehow to help with this situation as to where these can be put up and how that will be regulated, just to be on the upper front of that, because I can see it now, them popping up here and there all over town selling these fireworks. So no one was real happy about it.
Madam President, I'll let our solicitor comment on this after he reviews it. But I believe as I was reading through some of the legislation, it actually says that they can't put the pop-up tents within 5 miles of a brick and mortar store.
Oh, does
so
it?
I think
Okay.
we may be all right.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I'll defer to Mr.
Yeah.
Flagler once he gets a chance to review it.
Yeah, because we were all like in a panic when we were finding out about it. And we said, okay, that's because I even said we have a big building already in town. Yeah. It's like, can we make sure we don't end up with them popping up all over the place? But yeah, thanks, Mr. Bowers.
Madam President, I have one item.
Sure.
And this is just for the public's knowledge. So there was some buzz and some information came to me in reference to our trash company. So Republic, when people would call there, people were getting information about how to dispose of like a refrigerator or an air conditioner or something like that. And the call center was giving some inaccurate information. The call center was telling people that it was going to cost them $80 to have that item removed because it had, in quotes, and this is in our contract, Freon. When I looked at the contract literally states that they take one, what they call bulky item that contains Freon per week the same day as we have our recycling. So I did contact Republic. I had to go through several layers and ended up with a district manager on the phone. The people that were charged that $80 are being refunded. So if in the last 2.5 years you've paid that fee to have an item removed, my information's on the website. Feel free to reach out to me. I can follow up for you. They pulled the records for the last 2.5+ years, which they've been working for the borough, and assured me that everyone that paid that item would get a refund. But if you're one of those people and you don't see a refund in the next couple of weeks, please let me know. Thank you.
I have one quick announcement. On Saturday, Friends of the Morrisville Dog Park will be hosting one of 3 summer pool parties at the dog park from 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. They'll have some kiddie pools filled with water and some sprinklers running.
Bring your bikinis on your dog.
I have one item.
Sure.
As we just finished filling the Recreation Advisory Board positions this evening, I do have a tentative date for our first meeting on Thursday, July 12th at 7 o'clock. I do have to check with the office downstairs to make sure nothing else is booked that evening. But that will be our first meeting.
Okay.
I will let everyone on the board know.
Okay. Were the bylaws sent to everyone on the? Yeah, they have to advertise the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
We figured if they got that first meeting in, then if they could figure if that's a good night for them and then let you guys know to officially.
Yeah.
But they need to have that first meeting to vote their bylaws, put their president, vice president, all that in place. So now they have a board, they can actually do it. And if I could ask Virginia, did the bylaws go to everybody so far? By email to them? Okay, so they have them?
so, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, let's
I'd
just.
like to congratulate all of the graduates of Morrisville High School. I believe graduation is today.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, kids.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone. Okay, unless there's anything else, I'll ask a motion to adjourn. Hello.
Second. Second.
They all want to stay longer, having such fun. Okay, we have a motion and a second?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't think be opposed, so have a good night, everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to executive session after this. Thank you for coming out.
Next session, you guys don't need the TVs, right? So you can turn off. No, yeah, you can shut everything off. And I need my. Okay, and I need my phone back.
Who has a flip phone? Scott.
It's my calling card. Ooh, this is still on.